Hello, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Turn the Page. I am Tony Stevens. I'm your star power. I'm your host. I am Iron Man. Anyway, to my right, we have the adorable sidekick, Ronnie Shanks. Say hello. Yeah. And to my left, there's this other guy, John McClay. Best beard you've ever seen in your life. He is just so much sex appeal, you can't even take it. It's overwhelming.
Sorry.
Okay, now, focusing. Let's talk about some news. First off, I just want to go over some of the current events going on in comics and in the cinematic industry so we can get that going. And just kind of update everybody on what's going on, what we think about it, and what maybe we don't think about it. Who knows? We'll come up with some stuff. We'll entertain you because that's what we're here to do. We're here to entertain you. Ronnie, can you go ahead and start us off with some of the current events or events that you think have blown your mind over the past week that you found out about?
Well, I mean, they finally answered the question in comics. Who would win between the Thing and the Hulk? Which, in the back of my mind, I always thought that the Hulk would always win, but then Marvel's like, nah, bro, the Thing won.
Wait, they had the Thing win?
The Thing knocked him out cold.
But in context. Let's put this in context.
I guess if you could knock him out cold, it would, cause him from becoming more angry.
What you have here, and in effect, is the current Fantastic Four series. The Thing, Benjamin Grimm, finally gets married to Alicia, his blonde girlfriend. Now, as we all know, Alicia Masters has a father who is a supervillain, right? A puppet master, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy fellow.
So this fella can make a little clay figurine and control whoever he makes that voodoo puppet of.
He made it of the
Hulk.
Yeah.
So he's in control of the Hulk, making Thing and Hulk go at it like it's Pound Town and the dog cage.
So, I have a question. I guess how they've made the Hulk's powers, associated with his anger, right?
Correct.
So if he's being controlled by someone, he can't get super angry.
Correct.
Is that how he was defeated?
I feel like there's a little bit of a catch there.
So
it's a
the
catch-22.
Really
because then Marvel can turn around later on and say, well, he wasn't really that angry.
Well, he's like a zombie. He's being mind controlled.
Well, I mean, it's like he might have been fueling Puppet Master's anger because,
But nobody's more mad than Bruce.
Yeah, the Puppet
Bruce
Master's
is always mad.
Is not the same as Hulk anger.
Basically, if you name your child Bruce, you're destining them to be a rageaholic. Wayne, Banner, doesn't matter. Batman or Hulk.
Campbell?
Your kid, Bruce Campbell. So you're going to make your child very angry if you name them Bruce. Please be very careful when you do that. But yeah, I mean, it's an excellent panel. It's excellent artwork. Hassan Rabit did the cover, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Excellent painting that fella does. Did a lot of work on Thor for a while. Keep going, man, because you are doing a great job. Now, the interior work, I cannot remember the fella's name that did all the interior work.
I can, but it's really great.
He does a really good job. It's very defined, good shadows.
There it is.
Excellent artwork.
Beautiful.
Right, let's look right here.
Is this the moment? This
is the moment.
So spoilers, by the way. This
You
is a big
actually
moment.
see. Now, the Thing is currently wearing a watch of some kind that lets him know when he's going to revert to human form.
So he
That's
can
my
go back and
understanding.
forth now.
But he has to keep track by this watch that he wears. So right before he's about to lose his rockiness, he just all out decks the Hulk because Alicia Masters reminds Thing that he has something that the Hulk never has. Hulk's always angry, but the Thing, he's always got heart.
And someone pointed out to me that anger is pretty powerful too.
Anger's pretty powerful, but if you're angry and you're getting really close to somebody I love, I'll poke your eyeball.
This is like the Rocky Balboa kind of heart beats,
Ivan Drago.
Right.
Yeah, it's because he just wouldn't stop. He's going to go until he dies.
Rocky Balboa's great for that. He's always great for that. And that's what I'm saying. You get too close to my loved ones, I will gouge your eyes out. Now, speaking of fatalities, you had another thing you wanted to throw at us, I think.
Yeah, they've actually started casting for the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Now,
Which is really interesting.
So they're making another one.
Yes,
we're getting Lambert again, right? Or Lambert?
And there?
we're not
Lambert.
getting Lambert. The guy that played Hogan in the Thor movies is actually in talks right now to play Raiden, which is really cool.
He is an excellent actor.
And then the guy from Supergirl, who plays Jimmy Olsen, is playing Jackson Briggs.
Big metal arms. Okay, I can see
see
that. He's
that.
very imposing and tall.
And they have a newcomer, which I looked her up. She really hasn't done anything.
Maybe she came off the Disney
But-
Channel.
But I'm hoping, for love of God, please let her know martial arts. That's all I care about in this movie.
Do they have any like
You
martial
can
artists
teach
signed on? Do you know?
Yes,
I think you
Matter
get
of
like
fact,
Donnie Yen or somebody.
the guy playing Sub-Zero is
Yeah.
Joe Taslim from The Raid.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
So he'll be doing a whole bunch of this stuff.
Yeah. I like that. This stuff.
It's, you know,
Oh, yeah.
even when he does ice balls, it'd be
And the dude from the Power Rangers movie, Ludi Lin, he's actually playing Liu Kang.
Was it the Black Ranger?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm actually pretty excited about this movie. I just hope they cast someone really good for Johnny Cage and someone really good for Scorpion.
Johnny Cage.
And it needs to be an action. You know,
Bradley Cooper. No.
Scott Adkins would actually be pretty good.
Scott Adkins would be good. Scott Adkins, can you do everything? Because
Now remind me.
we'd
who's Scott
appreciate it.
Adkins?
Undisputed. He's done a bunch of other movies with Michael Jai White. He's like a lot of action movies. He's in Ninja 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So like, how old is
Well, he's right age for Johnny Cage.
he?
Because Johnny Cage, by the time that they got him to the Mortal Kombat tournament, was kind of like a washed up
He was
movie
aged
star.
out movie star. He's like Tom Cruise.
No,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is in his peak. He's peak.
Oh, he peaked. He peaked. He peaked so hard that he changed his name and
Now-
produces our show.
Depending on how old depending on how old they go with Johnny Cage, if they want to go older, I could possibly see them bringing in Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's who he was originally supposed to be. No, that's who he's supposed to be.
perfect.
All right, hey, let's get. Do we have a question from the audience?
Well, just Haldecor was recommending Chris Pratt for Johnny Cage.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt is good. I mean, he's a good actor.
That would actually be really good.
Trektini agrees.
Well, if
Chris
she
Pratt-
agrees, then everybody knows that that must be right. Because when Trektini's right, she's right. And there's no arguing against that. However, there is some bad news coming up. I'm going to go ahead and console him for a second. Maybe
What is it?
we might need to put him in a straitjacket. They have announced that they have canceled the Krypton show, which also means that the Lobo spinoff show that everybody was getting excited about, canceled. So, much like the tone DC likes to carry things out to give us hope and then crush it with a stranglehold. Thank you again, DC, for doing this to us. You remind me why I'm so angry in life. I think if they would just commit.
Yeah, this is the second canceling in a few months.
Yeah, Swamp Thing was canceled.
Swamp Thing was canceled. Even their DC streaming service, which I've already paid you for the year, DC, and you are disappointing me. And pretty soon, Marvel's just going to win completely. You still have the biggest names in comics. All you have to do is commit. Commit to an idea, make it. There are plenty of really good directors, actors, screenwriters. Just pay them the money, step back, and let the magic happen. Pull a Feige. Let it happen. All right? That's all I'm saying, DC.
Well, they are continuing with Titans at least. Titan season 2 comes out soon.
That,
It looks really
yeah.
promising.
with Deathstroke coming up, I'm very excited about that. I
Glad-
don't. Now, did we get any news on who's actually playing Deathstroke, or is that? I mean, can Manu Bennett come back?
It's not Manu Bennett, it's somebody else. I forgot what his name was, but he's going to be pretty good.
I didn't see Aquaman. Didn't Deathstroke make an appearance in Aquaman? Like at the end?
That was at the end of Justice League.
Justice League.
Yeah.
Wait, was it?
And that
Yeah.
was a different actor. That was Joe.
That was the
Biden.
guy-
This guy from
That was the
True Blood.
wolf in True
Yeah.
Blood.
Yeah.
He's a pretty man.
So they just like dumped him for to Deathstroke.
I think that he's still going to be the silver screen Deathstroke.
Yeah.
So DC is doing what they always do and just
yeah.
TV.
Let's get another question.
Haldecor was asking, who do you think would be a good Feige for the DC universe?
I think
Jeff Johns.
Is it Jeff Johns?
Jeff Johns. Just let him off the chain. Like, as long as they take the leash off of him, DC has just always been strangled by WB. WB has a lot of executives. They like to make a lot of decisions. They like to say, well, this is how I prefer to see it. I've never read a comic book or watched a movie, but boy, oh boy, would I pay money to see it go this way. And I'm not going to go see it. Matter of fact, cancel it. Just cancel it. Cancel all of it. Turn Superman into Michael B. Jordan and just kill everything.
And don't forget, make sure the movie comes out before my bonus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Justice League there, right?
So that's a whole other topic for a different day.
All right, let's just, okay. DC, goodbye. We're leaving you for now. We've spent too much time and heartache on you. And we are not going to bash the things we hate, even though we want to bash you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Tingle's going off and saying we need to take this in a different direction and get happy about some stuff.
Still love you, DC.
Something I'm kind of excited about right now is the fact that we have a complete revamp of the X-Men universe within the comic books. Okay, so we've got Hickman, Jonathan Hickman. He's coming up. Now, he's already done some amazing storylines for the Avengers. Some of it's very complex. Some of it you have to really use your brain to follow. But
So
when he gets to the end, this full circle appeal that he gives you, it's really good reads. But he's just now started out with revamping the X-Men universe, and they're calling it the House of X, Powers of X. Mm-hmm. And so far, they're only about 2 issues in. From what I understand, one of the oldest human characters within the book was Moira.
Moira McTaggart.
Thank you. Moira, Scottish is hard to talk. Moira McTaggart. She was always the human character, and but they changed that. They say that she is a mutant.
Has she always been a mutant?
Apparently, according to Hickman. And we'll see where he's going with this. Maybe I either have faith in him and he'll destroy me, or he'll reward me.
So what's the premise of this?
The premise is that she dies, and when she dies, her mutation is that she comes back with the full memories of every previous lived life.
So she became Tom Cruise.
Yeah, she's on the edge of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. So this time she's decided to go
Groundhog
ahead.
Day, but X-Men.
Right. I hated Groundhog Day.
What?
No, like it's a good movie. I like the movie. It's hilarious, but
So many
it
things
is
are
the
derivative of
worst.
Groundhog Day.
That's my worst fear.
Never seen it.
Like if
That's
they
my
had
dream.
no, dude, if they had a shark with spider legs
Yeah.
and a clown face painted on it that was actually going to sit in a chair and psychoanalyze you, that's less scary than repeating everything over and over again. Do you know how many times I could get like remarried or re-divorced if Groundhog
Which
Day
is
happened?
one day. It's just one day.
Right, but what if it's the worst day?
What if it's the best day? What if it's just a day and you could just take off?
It all depends on what job I have.
Yeah.
Uh,
Give me a job scenario. We're diverging for a second.
I could be an actor.
Okay, you're an actor. You're an actor. You gotta relive the same day.
Got to relive the same day. I
Okay.
get that one scene that I've got to perform over
You don't
and
have
over
to.
again.
You don't have
And
to.
I
because
could
you just
go.
not show
They
up.
say, "Hey, Tony, come on in,
No,
and we're gonna need you to get in the pose." And then I just kind of like sit there, and then they get the blood painted on me, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready for my one line. I am Iron Man."
You don't have
And then
to
I do that every day.
You don't have to. You could go do whatever you wanted. See, the thing that was special about Groundhog Day, he was trapped in a town.
He was trapped in a decision too.
Well, he was only trapped in that decision because he couldn't leave town because of the storm. He was trapped in a place he hated. So if you're in LA,
Seems really scary.
you can go in.
LA is horrible,
But you can leave LA.
but could you?
Unless there was a storm keeping you from leaving LA that
Could
day.
rob a bank?
You could.
Could.
You could do all sorts of things.
But I feel like I would be killed a lot in a lot of these scenarios.
Yeah, but then you would just wake up again.
But what if that's the time you don't?
You would have an opportunity to live a perfect day. You would give that up.
But you'd also have the opportunity to completely go foobar
Yeah.
and screw it, and then that's the time that you don't.
You don't repeat.
Right. That's the fear. That's the fear. The fear is real. What do you think, Ronald?
So about Xavier.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So what basically happened is, thank you. Mordering McTaggart goes to Xavier and to Eric Langford, Magneto.
Yeah.
And basically just spills everything. Like, this is what you do. This is how you waste your lives, constantly playing chess and then making people who work for you kill each other. How about this time? Let's work together. So we're looking at a unified mutant kind right now within these
I wonder
pages.
if she's been like trying to subtly hint these things through the years, through the different lives. And
At
they
one
just-
point in time, she
they just
was
haven't
the
picked
caretaker for a baby Magneto.
Yeah.
That happened right at the beginning of the Chris Claremont
Are
era.
they gonna like kind of go back to all these little scenarios? with
I
her?
would really like that
Probably.
if they did.
Like, this was her trying to get them to get on the right path.
Right, and this travels through time.
Yeah.
The storyline itself, it has many different iterations of time, so you even get to see all the way in this distant future, one of their biggest allies is Apocalypse. Apocalypse is trying to fulfill the dream of Xavier
I just realized.
instead of being himself.
Yeah, isn't Proteus the son of?
That was Moira's son, yeah.
So why does she keep having Proteus over and over again, even though he's incredibly dangerous?
Because I guess she knows that all it takes is Colossus to like poke him with a finger and he dies. Like, how bad is it that your kryptonite is metal?
So she creates this person so that he can.
Super powerful,
So-
but you touched me with a spoon!
So
The
that he
tick
can-
wins!
Well, why would she create a life just so that Colossus could kill
You
him?
could be Alan Scott Green Lantern, or you just could be wood.
Yeah, or yellow, and I could take you out with a number 2 pencil.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense why she would do that.
Because
He's killed over and
maybe
over.
there are certain things that she cannot escape.
Like a fixed point.
Yeah, like
So they gotta
a
tie in.
singularity.
They gotta tie in Doctor Who into this somehow. He shows up.
Be careful, because I've heard the TARDIS is bigger on the inside.
Way bigger. They got a pool.
It's like a mansion. Like
So
he has a
what's-
bat cave
Probably more
inside
than
the
one.
TARDIS.
So what's going on in the House of X? Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's as far as we know right now.
There's 2 issues
They're
in.
about 2 issues in.
I'm
They
just
pretty
like-
much just laid down the premise.
Just spitballing ideas here. Like,
Yeah.
what if this and that, right? You know.
I'd really like to see them show a unified mutant kind, but then go back and say, just kidding. Yeah, everything.
I really like the idea
Continuity returns.
of like Apocalypse, like embodying the ideas of Xavier.
this is all a dream that David
It's
Haller's had.
neat, but yeah. Like Legion just wakes up and he's like, which personality thought that up?
That would be the biggest slap in the face.
And that guy,
It was all a
if you've
dream.
never watched that TV show, played by Dan Stevens, no relation to the Dan Stevens that works for us. But he's still doing an excellent job. If you
Absolutely.
notice that the graphics are getting steadily better, the quality of the show is improving, and that's all thanks to Brothor, the Dan Stevens. Thank you again for everything that you do, Dan. We love you. We appreciate you. Don't ever stop doing this for us, because we would be lost doing this all day. This is twiddling your thumbs. This is what we do. What we do? I don't know. Can we turn TV on? Now, one of the big topics that I talked about last week that I wanted to get into was independent comics.
Oh yes, 90s independent comics.
Now, one of the biggest things that I think really solidified independent comics into a mainstream sense, even if that makes sense, is that a conundrum?
Makes
Indie
sense.
comics in the mainstream.
Independent from Marvel DC is what
Yeah.
we're really talking about.
So, what did that? Image Comics.
Yeah.
Image Comics was huge because who were these guys? These guys that were just like the young guns of Marvel. They
Yeah.
were the Billy BAs of Marvel. Like, they were giving you things that still to the day, everybody goes, ooh la la, about. Let's think, some of the cult classics. Venom. Who doesn't like Venom? He doesn't like him.
He doesn't like
But he did good. And everybody else likes him.
Yes.
Your favorite boyfriend, Cable.
Cable.
cable invented by Rob Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld, yeah.
So
Cable.
anybody can do at least one thing right.
Also, Deadpool, Domino. He's a handful of.
He did some good work. He did
Create
some
some
good work.
bits.
They all had
Yeah.
very weak ankles, but he did good work. From the waist up, amazing.
Lots of comic characters in the '90s had very weak ankles.
They had the Axl Rose.
Almost all of them, really.
I gotta swear like this.
There's a very
got a really
particular,
big gun and some really tiny long ankles.
There's a particular style that was adopted in the '90s.
Now, of course, the crown jewel, though, because Rob Liefeld is working on X-Force. It's a huge deal at the time. They've even made a Toy Biz toy line of it at the time. So it's big. He's what, like 18, 19 years old?
He's young. He's like,
Super young kid.
Yeah.
Like he just graduated out of high school, walked up to Stanley and said, "Can I do something?" And Stanley's like, "Sure, go ahead, just do it." And so he starts adding metal arms and guns and pouches and scars and big burning eyes. Like, but I do love cable, so good job for that. But the crown jewel was Mr. Lee.
Jim Lee.
Oh yes,
What about Jay Lee? Jay Lee? That's pretty good.
Jai Lee?
I thought it was Jay.
I'd say Jai.
Say Jay.
Call us and let us know how you say your own name. We're horrible people. But Jim Lee
Let's sing with
himself
Jay.
was the crown jewel because think about it. Chris Claremont, he's been writing X-Men at the time for almost a decade. Jim Lee signs on and starts doing some artwork for it. And then what do? They turn around and make X-Men issue number 1 the biggest selling singular issue of all time.
So many covers.
Just amazing writer, amazing artwork, and then there you go. But at the time, you have this young, angsty rebel within the comic book community, Todd McFarlane. Like, he couldn't stand the fact that, oh, you printed my artwork on your t-shirt, and I never even saw a percentage. I'm just saying throw me a nickel, or put my name on it, or say something about me. And we agree with you, Todd. There were a lot of things that weren't going the right way.
I like his beard.
I do too. He actually reminds me of somebody. I'm trying to think. There it is. We have our very own
I don't
Todd
see it.
McFarlane.
I don't
You don't
see
see that?
No.
I see that you, Montfrere, if you committed yourself for
Ways.
10 years, just 10 years of your life, you could make your own toy company. You could design
2
things.
years. 2 years.
10. I don't think you could do this
I
in
think
2.
you could do anything in 2 years. You give yourself
A lot of money, a butler,
the
and-
dedication.
Well, get dedicated
Yeah.
because
8 hours a day.
I'm expecting McClay toys to come out very soon.
2 years.
2 years. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, all these guys started rallying together. Now, of course, Rob Liefeld, he kind of looked up to Todd McFarlane. So he starts kind of following in his shoes. He's like, oh, okay, there he is. Right, there's Rob Liefeld right there, grinning from ear to ear. I still kind of wish I could fix his hair.
What's wrong with his hair?
His hair's always horrible, but it's okay. He's a good guy.
No,
He's a good
his
guy.
hair's
I just
fine. He's
I
got
just-
floppy hair. That's just the way it is.
no.
Yeah, good. He can do the flip.
I don't even think he could do the flip. It's like, man, it's okay. We all know that it's weird. Okay, look at it. Look at it. Look, it's like a buzz cut, but then
It looks like
some
regular
bangs.
hair.
He's got
I mean-
bangs on a buzz cut, man.
He does have bangs on plus.
Why?
And
Why does he do that?
He likes it.
Is it because
Well,
he's
that's
mad that he doesn't have a cyborg arm or some sort of scar on
We
his
kind of all
face?
should be mad.
Just go ahead and put a tattoo on your face. Get over it. Go bald. It's all right, man. We all start to lose it at some point in time. Some sooner than others. I kid. He's beautiful bald. We wouldn't have a kingpin without him. What? Yeah. My cue card girl is messing with my head right now.
So were we going to talk about Grifter?
Do you want to talk about Grifter? We can
Okay,
talk
I'll
about
talk
Grifter.
about-
I think
I'll
that he
talk-
wants to talk about
I think
Grifter.
he
Tell us
has-
about Grifter.
A very silly name. Like
It
a
needs
gritty
to.
drifter.
Well,
So
a
why not
grifter
Grifter?
is a person who cons you.
Okay. Is it common?
He's a con man.
So
It's
why
like a
don't-
professional con man.
why
That's what
doesn't he
grifter
cons?
means.
Why isn't he guns?
In case the con doesn't work.
So he's not good.
He'd shoot you in the
He's
face.
not a good comic.
It could be.
If he's good, why doesn't he need guns?
Because just in case. Why does Batman have batarangs?
So he doesn't have
if he's so
powers.
good at kung fu, he doesn't need batarangs.
That's right.
Doesn't he have telekinesis too?
He does have telekinesis,
What?
Kyle. That's
Well,
true.
he has telekinesis.
Yes,
I don't
he
know
does.
anything about this character.
Okay, well, hold on. So for a minute,
He's got
let's
a
just
Deadpool mask.
pretend like
Why is
I
he wearing a
bridged.
Deadpool mask?
I'm going to see if, because he came before Deadpool. But I'm going to see if maybe I bridged this together properly for those people who are trying to follow and maybe our erratic brain patterns aren't connecting the tissue for you. These guys all left Marvel and they formed their own company named Image Comics. They only did so once Jim Lee decided to sign on with them. And each one of them became a co-owner of Image Comics. So Image Comics was split into like a 5-tier community. Each one has its own company, its own artists, its own direction, but all of them fall under this
The umbrella.
the umbrella company, which was Image Comics. So within that,
Which is interesting because like a lot of the stuff, like was had like another subtitle, Wildstorm, which eventually ended up being bought by DC.
right,
Later
different
on.
imprints.
Different imprints.
That
which-
was Jim Lee's.
Jim Lee stuff. So I mean that makes
And
sense.
since we're talking about Jim Lee's Wildstorm imprint that went over to DC, they also bought up the character Grifter,
Yeah.
which is an amazing name and a really cool mask that happened before Wade Wilson. It's a character with a lot of potential that they have continuously just kind of let it sway in the wind. But
Deadpool existed before Griffin.
oh no,
So
Well,
like Griffin,
kind of, but not
Griffin
really.
only exists as an Image character, right? Image didn't exist when.
Jim Lee created these things before,
Oh, okay.
but he had them in his like back pocket.
His library.
If anybody was going to copy off anybody, I don't think Jim copied off Rob.
So like, here's a question. Like, if I'm like like I work for a company.
Yeah. Like which company? Like
I
working
don't know,
for Image or
Marvel,
working for
Marvel,
Wildstorm?
Marvel.
Okay, Marvel.
And like my job is to draw and create characters. I can pay to do this, and then I
Like
create
a concept artist or
Then I-
as an actual panel worker?
either one, doesn't matter.
It kind of matters, but okay.
And I create characters, but then I don't give them to Marvel. I just keep them in a briefcase.
Yeah.
Wouldn't Marvel say, "Hey, those are mine," since you worked for me at the time?
If he
But
created
he
them
can
on
prove
their
them
on their time,
On their time, but maybe he created it before their time. Maybe there's an 11-year-old Jim Lee that drew a picture of Deadpool masked Gambit and called him Grifter. And
No,
said,
I
what would
know.
make him cooler than the trench coat?
I
Guns.
think Eric Larson was one of those creators who had created like the Savage Dragon when he was a kid. Right?
Yeah, Savage Dragon was like his
Yeah.
childhood
Childhood
hero that he
comic
always
book
had
creation.
going on.
and there was a cartoon of Savage Dragon. as
Yeah, because not only was he the Savage Dragon, but he was also like a Chicago PD cop, and Eric Larson made him, and it was actually a pretty entertaining comic. It was fun with a lot of savageness to it.
I always
well. I like
liked
his
this
hairstyle.
Yeah, isn't it cool? Like he has no hair, but there's a fin. You can be bald, but you can have a fin, a good old mohawk. He's gritty, he's cool, but it's kind of to actually read the comic is like trying to put a Howard the Duck as a mainstream comic. Like it's very much so. It's a crazy.
It's still going. It's like one of the few originals that's
It's
still
one
going.
of the ones because Eric Larson, I believe, is still very strong within the Image publishing. He still does a lot of work. Which, if you have any idea of how Image eventually worked itself out, we had Stormwatch was within Image imprint. Tell us a little bit about that film.
Stormwatch. Oh man, yeah, Scott Clark. He had very, very powerful images, like anything that he illustrated. I mean, all the way back from Stormwatch to his work in Marvel with Alpha Flight, some of the X-Force stuff in the 90s. Went on later on, and like he did his own creator thing, which is also independent, called Star Gods, which he worked on with my older brother, Dave Beatty, and also another friend, Dean Zachary. And went on.
Dean Zachary.
Yeah.
I know him. He's done some artwork for me. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. And then they went to, then later on, Scott and my brother went to DC and stuff like that, did a bunch of work, which also on Grifter, so definitely check that out.
At least the first volume.
Yeah, the first volume of Grifter, Scott, and God rest his soul, before he passed away, he got to work on, that with my brother.
It was a pretty good thing. I wish it could have gone a little bit further so they could have realized more of the plot lines. Unfortunately, it kind of got Liefelded.
Liefeld tried writing.
over, and he was writing and drawing for it. So
You get burnt out too. I have a question
Mm-hmm.
for either of you. So, like, back to Grifter.
yes, back to Grifter. I'm amazed at how much this episode is going to be about Grifter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did
Cool.
he introduce himself as Grifter to people? Because I would think that would undermine his whole con man thing if he just said, "Hey."
It was a title given to him within a super team.
Okay.
So there was the Wildcats,
Yeah.
Covert Action Teams. That's what the cats.
So no one knew his name.
Now he had to have a code
Code
name
name.
because, like, he pulls down the mask.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
but he can he leaves it all wrapped up around his head. He's just Cold Cash walking around, which is his name.
Cold Cash.
Cold,
Oh, okay.
cold,
Cold Cash.
cold.
Cold.
E.
I got it.
Cool, gritty.
Is that his next
Rides a motorcycle.
name? Wait, did you say it was Gritty?
Gritty. A gritty grifter. A drifter guy, a little gritty.
Okay.
He's
Well, my question
with
is-
superpowers.
My question
There you
is-
go.
I'm telling you, man, it's Deadpool face Gambit.
Okay. I can see it. It is
Yeah.
a full face Gambit.
With a little bit of Punisher
Do you
mixed
have,
in.
do you have a little,
It's Jean-Claude Van Damme from Hard Target with superpowers.
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah. But
See it better if I do that.
it makes it look like I'm Grifter, and I'm okay with that. I always kind of wanted to grow up to be him. However, refocusing, the biggest title of Image Comics wasn't any of these, though. It wasn't the one that really carried the burden on the front end. Because a lot of these teams, even though they were kind of cool, good artwork, good, the writers are the artists.
Even
The
Wildcats.
artists are the writers. It was Wildcats wasn't even the biggest, even though Jim Lee was the biggest name they wanted to pull over. The biggest was Spawn,
Dear Lord,
created
yes.
by
Spawn.
Todd McFarlane. Now, oh my God, dude, I'm so happy you did that. Just Todd, this is a big shout out to you from a very young, angsty teenage Tony. Without you, I couldn't have really fulfilled my morbid, dark side. I couldn't have been a poor, depressed, gothic kid listening to Disturbed in my room, reading comic books about a superhero, undead, sold his soul to the devil. Good job. You're the best Canuck ever. Like,
So you're a
Canadian
You went
gold.
through a goth phase too, huh?
Oh man, I had a black trench coat, black combat boots, black jeans at all times, tucked into my combat boots. Oh yeah, sure. I was Neo before Neo came out. Thanks for stealing that from me, Keanu. But yeah. Now, honestly, I want to ask you because you were young when Spawn first came out. Not even with
Both of you were pretty young.
You would have been pretty old already.
I was already.
Yeah.
I was just out of NAM, so.
Yeah, you were getting done with man.
Well, my brother, he again, he got me into Spawn and stuff like that. So he,
Was that your nighttime story? Was he actually like sitting there at the end of your bed and he's like, and then Al Simmons sold his soul to the devil.
he didn't read me Spawn, but he did. We did go see the movie, and he.
You just got violated, Kelly, man! Oh man, my stepdad, that was the last movie he ever took me to see.
And
He
then,
saw it, he was like, are you serious?
But no, that the toys is what really got me into it, man.
No, yeah. Now, Todd McFarlane with McFarlane Toys, this is one thing I
And I
definitely have to say, is that he revolutionized the whole toy
Yes.
industry. Because before then, you had figures that could do this, right? Arm just moves up, and if you wanted to pose him, what could you do? Nothing. He stands there. If he's not standing there, he's just sitting on the edge of the table. If you had a girlfriend, she'd be like, look, he's sitting in a funny position. No, he's just sitting there. All I can do is stand. But then McFarlane said, screw that, man. Screw that, man. let's get some awesome looking figures that look just like the comic book panels. Let's put them in some cool poses. Let's make it my company. Like, he wanted to own his own Toys R Us, and he made it super scary.
One of the things I think that helped McFarlane was not knowing anything about the industry or how it worked. Like,
Just having the dream.
he would ask questions like, well, why can't we have super detail? Why can't we do this? Why? And there's all sorts of reasons why they didn't do it and why they'll say you
Price
can't.
effects. And
But he's like, no, well, we're just going to try and do this. We'll just pay more and we'll charge more.
Yeah.
And people will buy it, and they did.
Funny that you mentioned, like, super articulation and stuff like that. I'll find the picture for you guys. I was just reminded about this. But the imprint that the comic Star Guns, my brother Dean and Scott worked on, they actually had pre-order. Unfortunately, the company they were with went bankrupt or just didn't give them the money they're supposed to, so things kind of went. They're actually coming out with a figure called Ra, based off Egyptian mythology, but it had the most articulation ever at the time. And this was to come out, huh? Yes.
Oh, wow.
You can do stuff like that. Move. It had a 2-foot wingspan. It was like an 8-inch figure, so it was really freaking cool. I'll find the image for you guys next time. But
see, now what matters more.
Then it had ball joints and stuff like
Yeah.
that. No super detailed.
But you can't just give us a cool toy. You got to give us the character that goes behind the toy, and that was what was really neat about Spawn when it first started coming out and hitting the. Because I could call my grandmother. This was the thing. Like, Christmas is coming up. Tony, what do you want for your Christmas present? I want Spawn, Grandma. Spawn? Like a fish? No, a house spawn, Grandma. What? That's right. You'll know it when you see him. His face is stitched together. He's burned to a crisp, but he's got guns and swords for days. Thank you, Grandma, for always getting me the Spawn figures I wanted. I had medieval Spawn.
I always wanted it.
I didn't have the first one. I had the second one that was super zombified. Big battle axe. Thanks, Grandma.
I still have the first one in package at the house.
Oh, that's kind of,
It's really cool, and that's what I was really upset about in the movie, because the other guy was supposed to be medieval Spawn.
Oh,
I was like,
Cagliostro?
yeah, I was like, yes, we're going to see medieval Spawn, and then all he does is just gets chainmail
on his head.
and a sword, and I was like,
speaking of the movie, and I've got, there's a little movie figure right here. You'll see him in a minute. But I love the movie. This is actually the original. That's the original figure that I got when I was a kid.
This guy here.
Yeah, he's been glued back together
Oh, wow.
and everything. He had some gun belts, a big gun, some little guns. He was my favorite toy. I used to sleep with it every night. Take it
This is
to my
like 20 years
bathroom.
old.
Oh yeah, dude, at least.
I mean, I love the movie too. It's
Yeah, it's old.
that's what made me a fan of Michael J. White and martial arts.
I was a fan of him
From
until
that.
I got older and started watching people who could act better. He's not very good at acting. He is excellent at the gritty face. He's excellent at the martial arts.
Have you seen
It's
him?
just speaking the lines that it's. So what is Spawn? Let me explain Spawn for a second. We got some non-nerdists in the community that are saying, "Hey, y'all are talking like everybody understands what you're talking about. Maybe we didn't go to the comic book store. Maybe we didn't read the biggest things that ever happened in the American community. Or maybe Spawn just grows really big and takes over my face. I don't know." So, basically, what's Spawn? Spawn, there's this guy, Al Simmons, right? And he is top-level CIA like assassin. He's not a good guy. But he's an American idealist, if you think about it. He's like, I'll kill whatever I gotta kill to make sure my country stays free. Works with a really mean dude named Chapel. Works for a really, really mean dude.
Rip Torn.
Yes, Rip Torn. No. Jason Wynn was like the top of the community, or the spy community. He's basically like the evil Nick Fury, right? And so what you have is eventually Al Simmons goes too far. He wants to leave. He's fallen in love with this woman named Wanda. He loves Wanda. I mean, like, everything about her makes him feel better, like he can start over fresh. Everybody should always find somebody in their life that makes you feel like you can start fresh.
Todd McFarlane's watching as well.
Most possibly. I don't think I've ever stalked him as much.
Maybe
You
it's-
maybe know because you're his stunt double,
I don't know. It's either his wife.
or the girl that he wanted to be his wife, and now she feels kind of stalked.
Maybe we should look that up.
We should look that up at some point in time. But to continue the story, Jason Wynn says, you can't leave. You die. So he has him killed. He has him killed off by his own teammate, Chapman.
Mhm.
That was the original story. I don't know how they could have retconned it since then.
Well, now it's not even Al Simmons. Someone else.
I only collected up to 127 issues. So, but he dies. He goes to hell because he's a bad person. Malbolgia, which is actually the name of a ring of hell in Dante's Inferno, but in this is actually the devil. Malbolgia takes his little soul and he hangs him in front of him. He's like, you were going to work for me, and you're going to lead my army of demons, and we're going to like storm the gates of heaven, and we're going to kick the crap out of them, and I'm going to win because of you, because you're a good soldier. He's like, oh, why would I do that? Screw you, man. And he's like, do you ever want to see London again? And that's the moment where Al Simmons is like, that's all I ever want. I just want her. So if you promise me her, I will do anything for you. So again, another bad decision in the afterlife that he constantly made in his real life. I'll do anything if I get what I want. And he comes back years later in a decayed body that's kind of zombified and filled with all this brimstone power.
I remember that being like a particular joke. Like the devil didn't have to do it that way, but he did that.
He did it to get funnies.
Yeah.
He's laughing his butt off. And guess what happened in the 10 years while he was gone? Wanda got married to his best friend.
And had a kid.
Aha! Yeah. So a lot of things happened. The devil played jokes on him. But what does Spawn try to do with it? Get revenge on who? The devil himself. I'm going to chop his head off. That's what I'm going to do with all my life from now on. So it's a very angsty book. He runs into a lot.
He's very angsty.
Yeah. And, yes, Todd's wife name is Wanda.
Oh,
You're very smart, sir.
mind count?
I mind calm that. I
You
can
have
click
a
the button.
question?
Yes, sir, Mr. Producer. Did we have a question from the audience?
No, it's just that's what I was trying to convey.
Oh,
Todd's
well.
wife is Wanda.
Todd's wife is Wanda. We got that through mind calm. Thank you. But, so, the book was so big in the early 90s. Everybody loved it so much. T-shirts going everywhere that Todd was finally getting his stipend off of.
Copies.
Millions of copies
It's
of
a
the
much
comic book.
larger percentage.
Oh man, everybody's suing him because they're like, hey, I did a little bit of work for you, so I'm going to sue you to get a portion of this money because you're super uber rich off this. So rich at a certain point that he stopped even drawing the comic book and passed over the reins to Greg Capullo. Who, if you've watched our show, a little bit of trivia, we love Greg
Yes.
Capullo. His work is amazing, and a lot of it got grounded right there in his early issues of Spawn. He showed us how much he can convey emotions and drama through panel work, through shadows. Everything you do is amazing, sir. Even your mustache is just manly. Greg Capullo is awesome. And we're going to hashtag this, Greg Capullo is awesome. And hopefully at some point in time, we're going to get some sort of a Twitter account going. And then we're going to tweet Greg Capullo, and we're going to tell him, you're awesome. And then he's going to turn around and he's going to be like, you know what? I'm not doing anything next week. I'll come. I'll be on your show. Thank you, Greg Capullo. That's going to be so awesome. Hashtag Greg Capullo on Turn the Page. Love ya. All right, so anyway, he starts taking over the art, and he's doing a great job. So what's Todd committed to? He's committed to kind of like running his portion of the company,
Toy company.
in the toy company, marrying Wanda.
Buying baseballs.
Oh man, yeah, buying baseballs for a lot of money. That was the Grand Slam hit by
yeah, it was like this was significant at
Mark-
the time.
Mark
McGuire?
McGuire.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, he bought that. That was a big deal. But he's a huge sports fan. He's even got sports action
He paid
figures that he
millions
puts
for
on.
it, too.
Millions, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All.
It is a ball that he wanted really, really bad. And he got it.
And he had the money, you know. And,
He had the money, and he still has the money. But he also invested his money into what Ronnie talked about before, creating a movie. Because what do you do with a really cool comic book character? You turn it into a movie. What can I say about the movie? What can you say about the movie? How do you feel about the movie when you first saw it? How do you feel about the movie now?
And when I first saw it, I thought it was really good. I highly enjoyed it. It was something different. I mean, it's now the way that the Spawn costume looked. I wish he had the cape more. But then again, I understand it's at the time CG was almost non-existent.
Oh yeah, well,
it
it was
was
kind of cutting
expensive.
edge.
Yeah, that and you really couldn't do his cape with just cloth the way it is in the comics because I mean his cape is alive.
It's
Yeah,
a
always
part of
good.
him and a thing of its own. It's kind of like Doctor Strange's cape that's in the
Yeah.
Doctor Strange movies. For those who are not nerdists and don't know what we're talking about.
But it was really cool and I liked it. Again, it introduced me to Michael J. White, who I've been a fan of ever since. Blood and Bone, fantastic.
It introduced me to John Leguizamo.
Really? I like the clown as well.
The clown was kind of the best part for me. And he turns into the Violator, and he does all of those crazy things. But this really short, imagine Batman has this bad guy named the Joker, right? We all love the Joker because the Joker's super creepy. But then give the Joker way too many carbs, so he's gained a super ton of weight. He has a demon that lives inside of him, and constantly makes lewd, crass jokes and maybe touches himself. And that's the clown. Yes, producer.
Haldecor was wondering, who do you think would win between Spawn's cape and Strange's cape?
That's a good question.
Damn.
Now,
Let's debate this.
I can vouch for Spawn's cape because a lot of power can come and be derived from the cape and the suit itself.
It's actually kind of connected to hell itself.
So there's a lot of power in that cape.
But
I think Strange's cape is more intelligent.
now, Strange's cape is also somewhat. Would you consider it like a holy object? Would they?
Where does he get his power? Where's the Strange's cape? How is it imbued with
It's
his
the
personality?
I
code of
think-
levitation.
Yeah, Harry Potter put a spell on it. He
Okay.
said Levioso, and then the cape started flying and had a mind of its own. And then eventually, Stephen Strange found it in a glass case. It's actually it's canon. Harry Potter
So I don't know.
created the Marvel universe.
That's a toss-up. I'm gonna say Spawn's cape because it's so much more substantial.
Now,
just wrap itself
do
around.
the chains and the skulls get to be a part of his cape?
Yes.
Because that's the cape clasp.
Well, then, yeah, so, I
I
mean,
thought
He's got stuff to
It was the whole outfit was the thing that was alive.
The whole outfit
Because it's a separate image.
is, but the cape itself too.
Yeah.
It's like several different living organisms collecting together to make his costume.
Is the cape?
It's like, what if I felt a little bit like Spider-Man, or a lot of it like Batman, or maybe today I'm Doctor Strange, and then they all merged together, all those costumes from
And then
all those
exaggerated.
characters, and then they jumped onto a zombie.
Yeah.
Because eventually, nobody knew it, but Image Comics would actually make one of the biggest comics of all time. It turned into one of the biggest AMC TV shows of all time, The Walking Dead. Thank you, Todd McFarlane, for getting mad and leaving and making Image Comics, because then eventually you get Rick Grimes. That's how that
That
happens.
series just ended.
mhm.
Surprisingly.
Surprising,
Uh,
actually. As
A few
well.
months ago.
When you don't have Rick Grimes anymore,
Yeah, did they kill him?
no, okay, we're not going to do spoilers.
Yeah.
No.
Because
Yeah,
I didn't
about
even
that.
watch the last season because
I haven't
they
seen
said
this
this is the last season with Rick Grimes, and I was like, you will not end him for me. You cannot take him away from me. It is all about him, and I don't care about Carl or any of the other
Carl's
characters.
still alive in the comics.
Well, in the comics, but screw Carl and one-eyed Carl. Coral, yeah. Carl!
I stopped watching that show after season 5, I think.
Carl! Rick Grimes is amazing, though. I've got a statue of Rick Grimes.
Anyway,
Someday I'll bring that in and he'll just be standing here pointing a gun at you because
what's your take on Strange Cape versus Spawn Cape?
Well, I kind of give it to the Spawn case just
Spawn is
because
too big.
it has teeth. It has teeth.
It
It
has
has
literal
chains.
teeth.
It's got literal teeth on the cape. And
There's-
it can
Who
like
would eat this cape?
I think it would eat his
I
cape.
think it would eat
Strange cape just floats And I don't even know if that's like
And
a
it can
long
fight,
term.
and it can fight and like
It does
jack
fight
people
people.
down and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, so does Spawnscape, and
Or-
it has teeth.
Or Harry Potter found a red tablecloth, put the Levioso spell on it, became Doctor Strange's cape, but then the cape made some bad decisions in life. When it died during a battle with Doctor Strange wearing it, it went to hell, became Spawn's cape, and that's how Spawn got the cape. They're one and the same. That's like fighting your inner demons. You can't even do that. Just accept yourself.
I like it.
Done. So, anyway, I really do. I enjoyed the heck out of Image Comics. I enjoyed the whole theory and the darkness of it. Todd McFarlane made some really gritty,
He did.
gory comic books and spin-off comics of Spawn itself.
His toys were brilliant too.
They were, and some of them really gave me nightmares. I can't thank a person enough for nightmares. As an artist, tortured soul, seeing some cool stuff in your sleep just scares the crap out of you. What do? You wake up, you draw it, right?
And then you have
So a
Angela,
lot of this stuff.
who ended up moving from Image Comics to Marvel.
Yeah, that was a big litigation right there.
Now, why did that happen?
Okay, so
Wait, who was it?
during the first issues, Neil Gaiman,
He created
the
Angela.
guy
right?
was Cerberus. Can't remember his name right now.
Sims.
So
Dave Sims.
Sim. So a lot of them did some contribution to the Spawn comic because it was
Yeah,
a big deal at the time. They're like, give me some notoriety. And like after the fact, they're like, well, wait, hey, I made that character on your dime, and you said everything was character or creator character owned.
Yeah.
So there was like some issues after that. And then even a hockey player named Tony Twist was like, hey, you named somebody Tony Twist. That must have been after me because you're a hockey fan. And my name's Tony Twist. And that stupid mafia villain in your comic is called Tony
I
Twist.
remember
So
that.
I want some money too to get some new teeth. So hopefully he did. I don't know. But Todd has continued plugging away. He's continued to keep faith in his Hellspawn character.
He's a very hard worker.
He is a hard worker. He's a dedicated guy, and I appreciate that about him. And he is currently working on trying to get a new Spawn movie brought to us with a little bit more of a noir film.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah,
okay.
and Twitch.
Yeah, it has him and Twitch in there. Jimmy Renner's supposed to be playing Twitch. Jamie Foxx is supposed to be playing Spawn.
Jamie Foxx is Spawn.
I can see that.
So they're
He
just
is a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He can act like you like.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
like him. He can act. As long as Michael B. Jordan isn't Spawn.
I like Michael B.
Michael B. Gone.
Ever since The Wire,
Michael B. Gone straight. Go away, Michael B. Jordan.
anyways.
he's great on The Wire.
About the movie, it's like right now it's in development hell. So
It is
mostly it's
Oh, is it? What?
yeah, that's because Tom McFarlane,
Okay, stop.
the executives don't want to
give it to
their
him the way he
ideas
wants it.
are meshing with his.
Contrary to his
And he
idea.
wants the movie to happen the way he wants to, so we might be seeing a Kickstarter soon for Spawn, the movie, which I think would be really
Maybe Todd McFarlane can finally do what he did in comics and make another separate entity where it's just like Image Productions and he makes his own cinematic films, kind of like the MCU did, where they were like, we answer to no one until Disney gives us a big fat
That would
bug
be
with their
great.
wallet. That would be great.
Like an Image Comics.
Yes.
Haldecor recommended Idris Elba as Spawn.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be
no, I'm
really-
down. You
Yes.
you just topped it. But see, okay, here's the thing: Jamie Foxx, Idris Elba, both in the movie. One of them actually plays as Chapel. The other one would be Al Simmons.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
You remember when they actually fought because they were in Nam with you, weren't they?
They were, both
it
of
was pretty great. So anyway, thank you for all the work that you've done, Todd
Yes,
McFarlane.
thank you so much. Venom is fantastic.
Venom is great, and you work on Spider-Man. They even gave you your own Spider-Man imprint just because of how well you did it. I'll never be able to thank you enough for all the stuff you've done. Your HBO series of Spawn,
Yes,
the animated series when that came out, that was a lot of things to me at that age. So thanks for that. And the animation was great. It was above Saturday Morning, but just below Disney. I think you hit the notch on everything you were aiming for.
And speaking of all that, Keith David, the guy who did the voice of Spawn in the HBO series, is going to be voicing Spawn again for the Mortal Kombat 11 DLC coming out soon.
Which, if I get that game, you know who I'm going to play as the entire time? Spawn.
Scorpion. Oh, Spawn.
Yes, Spawn. Yeah, no, Scorpion's just like Spawn mixed with Ghost Rider with ninja powers. So
Spawn has ninja powers.
Spawn has any powers that he wants to have. He has I break into a government facility and steal all their bullets and then use them on people powers. Like that's the most amazing stuff.
I remember that issue.
Yeah.
Because you know.
I won't use your devil power magic anymore. Screw you! I'll go get guns.
And that's the second time Spawn has guest starred in a fighting video game as well.
Yeah, because he was on back in
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur. Yeah,
On the
yeah,
original
a huge
Xbox.
axe,
Yeah,
battle
yeah.
axe that had the face on it. That was great. Thank you for that too.
And that was Keith David as well, which was great.
Well, you know, when you're a good voice actor, you should just keep on getting work. So,
Yes.
honestly, to wrap things up, I want to say this is a quote that came to me earlier today.
Is this the moral?
I don't know if it is or not, but it kind of came to me. So, what is hell but knowing heaven and then being deprived of it?
Is that from Spawn?
No, that's from Tony. Or maybe it's from something else, and I just like remembered it. But like that's hell, right?
Yeah.
Hell's having the most amazing thing, most amazing day. That Groundhog Day that you want to have on repeat. That blockbuster tape that you want to keep putting into
To
your
know what you're
rewinder.
missing out on.
But then after you've had that day, the next day, you don't have that anymore. The woman's gone. Fantastic Four 2015. The room's empty. Michael B. Jordan is playing in a Fantastic Four movie over and over again. And I'm in hell. That's hell. Knowing heaven, but then being deprived of it. It's not so much that it's fire and brimstone. It's not so much that it's zombies walking around. It's that you are lacking that peace that you need. So, this is going to be the moral. You go out and you find that peace, and you hold on to it.
See, you know what? You
That
have
one
a good
piece.
idea there. Like, see, at least you know what you want.
Yeah, if you know what you want, commit yourself to it for 10 years. Or 2, if you try really hard and never sleep. But, you know, when you have something in your life that makes you feel complete, that makes you feel like you're at home, that makes you feel like you're hold on to it. Treat it right. Show it the respect that it deserves. Like my boat here. He's got the best wife, and he loves her dearly. He treats her with so much respect. The two of these kids, when they walk into a room together, you see them and you're like, I mean, they were made for each other, right? They were just like created to be together. But he doesn't take that for granted. He doesn't take it for granted at all. He treats her with all this respect. I'm totally sure that he would sell his soul to Malvolgia to just see her one more time. Would you do that? Would you become Spawn to us? He'd return, he'd be like, Tony, I have to talk to you real quick. I've got this big king.
Okay, you have to come on the show as Spawn.
Yeah.
I would have to come on the show as Spawn.
And like his mask would be like, and then it's like, oh God, what happened to your face? And you have a fin. He'll be the savage dragon underneath the Spawn stuff.
Well, that's Fantastic Four 2015 too much.
Michael B. Jordan killed my soul, and now I'm the devil superhero.
More like the baby Doctor Doom thing in there.
Speaking of which, though, next week I want to delve into the real first family of comics, the Fantastic Four, as Stan Lee created them in all of their iterations. We may even talk some more trash about the 2015 Fantastic Four movie.
There's no day.
It'll happen. And Michael B. Jordan, I'm sorry, hashtag Tony is always going to talk trash about you. I'm sure if we met each other in real life, you would knock my block off. Like, you're probably like super strong, you work out all the time, whatever. That won't change my opinion about you.
I actually like your acting.
He likes you. I think he's okay with you. I just don't. But yeah. So let's talk about the Fantastic Four in 2 weeks on the same Turn the Page channel at the same general Turn the Page time. We'll let you know. We'll give you a countdown. And just so you know, big shout out to Saturday Night Gaming. Continue to listen to our podcasts that we do for the gaming community.
Yes.
You can find those on Google play. You can find them on iPhone stuff. What's that called? What? The iPhone. iTunes. Yeah, they got iTunes. They on the Doom phone. We got great shows, great entertainment. Check them all out. Like, subscribe, share with your grandmother. Twist your friend's arm behind his back until he listens to it as well. Go rob a bank and then repeat the same day over again. But do it to a new episode of Saturday Night Gaming Presents each time you do it. We have Let's Discuss for movies. We have Saturday Night Gaming for any of your game communities, tabletop, role-playing. It's great. And continue to tune in to Turn the Page, because we will always be here to debate, discuss, bring you the news, and maybe just hate on certain actors a lot. Also, if you check out the link that we're going to post to the video once it's up on YouTube and once in the comments, if you check over to the side on the comments, we may or may not post a link, but on eBay, we have merch, which is what the guys call it in the field for merchandise. We have merchandise. We have cool shirts. We can make you bumper stickers. You can be an avid Turn the Page listener and fan and subscribe and wear our shirts. And maybe eventually we'll do some sort of like a call-in. You can call in. We'll give you a quiz if you answer pop quiz questions about us and have watched enough of the episodes and you win that quiz. Myself and John McClay will both draw you a commission piece. Who knows? Or Ronnie will come to your house and cook you the best steak you've ever had.
Dressed as Spawn.
Dressed as Spawn. And maybe pudding. And cake.
See, that sounds nice.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll draw you a picture. John McClay will ink it, and then Ronnie will cook for you.
My wife will cook for you.
And even his wife will cook for you because they're a package deal. So continue to listen, continue to like, continue to learn about us, and we'll see on our next installment if we can get some sort of call-in thing going on and see if we can get a winner and get to work on that. That sounds like a good idea. Let's involve the listeners more. And until next time, I'm Star Power, Sex Appeal, and the Adorable Sidekick, all saying thank you, we love you, support your love, don't bash what you hate, and join us again as soon as you can.